Alrighty, guys, we're back for Mono Red Dragons, and this is a Dragonstorm Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We have 3 Sarkhan, Dragon Ascendant. It's a 2-mana 2/2 legendary creature. When it enters, you may behold a dragon. If you do, create a treasure token. So to behold a dragon, choose a dragon you control or reveal a dragon card from your hand. That should be all too easy in this deck list. We do have 17 total dragons. Nice. That's a chunk of dragons, dude. So whenever a dragon you control enters, you put a +1/+1 counter on Sarkhan. Until end of turn, Sarkhan becomes a dragon in addition to its other types and gains flying as well. Yeah, seems like a pretty good 2-drop. We'll see if it does the thing today. More new cards, we have all 4 Molten Exhales. 2-mana sorcery. You may cast this spell as though it had flash if you behold a dragon as an additional cost to cast it. Now this deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That's a chunk of damage to be doing at potentially instant speed. I like it. You have other removal packed in. We have all 4 Torch the Tower, ought to do the thing, and in this deck list, it's not going to be unheard of to be able to bargain this as well. More new cards, we have 4 Magmatic Hellkite. It's a 4-mana 4/5 flying dragon, and when this creature enters, destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. Its controller searches their library for a basic land card, puts it onto the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it, then shuffles. Dude, that stun counter looks brutal. I'm interested to see how much this dragon's actually going to do. I like everything about it. I like that it's a 4/5 instead of a 4/4. That stun counter, I'm really interested to see how much the stun counter does too. Actually, I just want to see it today, yeah. More new dragons here on the top end. We have a couple Stormshriek Ferals. This is a 5-mana 3/3 flying haste. For 1 in a red, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, but it also has an omen here. So you may cast this card as an omen. After you do, shuffle this card into its owner's library. Okay. So the omen's called Flush Out. Okay. It's 1 in a red, sorcery speed, discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Nice. So we could do some rearranging potentially, but I just don't think it's going to be unheard of at all to actually play it out as a 5-mana dragon as well. That ability looks very similar to something like Bitter Reunion. However, Bitter Reunion sticks around on the board, has that bottom ability to potentially help give our top-end dragons haste. Not the only way to give our top-end dragons haste, though. Carnelian Orb of Dragonkind actually in here has some ramp. That's a 3-mana artifact. You can tap it for a red mana. If that mana is spent on a dragon spell, it gains haste until end of turn. Beautiful stuff. It's going to be awesome to give haste to things like Dragonhawk, Fate's Tempest, or Bonehoard Dracosaur, or any of the top end realistically. Couple Incinerator of the Guilties here too. And another new dragon, Stormscale Scion, is a 6-mana 4/4 with flying, and other dragons you control get +1/+1. It also has Storm. Okay. So whenever you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copy. So in this deck list in particular, you're probably not going to be storming out too many of the storm scales. Still though, man, it might not be unheard of at all to play a Torch the Tower before a Stormscale Scion. Or why not Torch the Tower and maybe a Mox Jasper? It's just 0 mana. It's a legendary artifact. You can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Activate only if you control a dragon, however. So a couple of these packed in, interested to see how much this is going to do today as well. More dragons, we actually have a Shivan Devastator as a 1/of. It could be an easy early game dragon for just 2 mana. It'd be a 1/1 flying haste. Outside of that, it scales as the game goes on. Okay guys, is that everything? No, we have a couple Phyrexian dragon engines packed in as well. It has that unearth ability, so that should be interesting. So whenever it enters from your graveyard, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. There's not too many ways to actually restock the hand in this deck list in particular, outside of the Bonehoard Dracosaur and the Dragonhawk helping us see more off the top. Over here in the mana base too, we have Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon, which I'm not going to take the time to go over right now, and a couple Cavern of Souls helping us evade counterspells. 20 mountains. I think 24 land should be good enough. Honorable mentions, it feels super weird not playing with Invasion of Tarkir. Super duper weird. So honorable mention for a very good reason. And honestly, guys, we probably could have packed this with a whole bunch of powerful top-end dragons that we could have considered for this deck list, but I just didn't this time. So let me know down in the comments what at the very least should have made the cut as an honorable mention. Okay, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I have no idea. I have no clue. I'm just excited to play with some new cards, honestly, so. It could go either way. It could be pretty janky, or it could be really good. I know one thing, I like this first hand a lot. Yeah. Opponent goes first, unfortunately, but I'm not going to complain about this. We get to behold a dragon right away for the Sarkhan, which is pretty good ramp. Treasure ramp early on. Hold on to the treasure a little while as we curve out into our other ramp, too. Commercial district. Okay. Go ahead and get the mountain down. Then we'll get the Maelstrom down. Oh, Jund colors. Cavern of Souls. Alright, let's behold that dragon, huh? Let's do this. I feel like Sarkhan's not going to stick around, but at least we'll create that treasure token, right? Sarkhan, get down! Run! No, Sarkhan! I mean, 2 opened against Jund colors. It's a nowhere to run. Okay. I mean, that's a nowhere to run that's not hitting our Stormshriek Feral. So that's something, I guess. Ooh, more land. Not the best. 6 mana here. 24 land in the deck list. I'd say we could successfully get rid of some of this. But I'd rather just play the Carnelian Orb for now, right? Jund Colors knows how to pick up artifacts. Hopefully, this Jund list that we're up against does not know how to pick up artifacts. Also, if we want to pop the treasure, I guess we could still Bitter Reunion for the turn. That's probably worth it, isn't it? And I want to go Bitter Reunion over the Stormshriek because there's a chance that we just want to play this as a dragon. And omens are not adventures. Alright, ditch the mountain. Oh, Bonehoard Dracosaur and another Stormshriek. I'm not mad about this at all, huh? Seed of Hope. Artist Talent. Okay. Okay, I don't know what we're up against yet. They play the Artist Talent. Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Cool. I think I'm going to go Bonehoard Dracosaur. Their commercial district isn't picking it up for the turn. It's a good hasty 5-power swing. All right. Get the cavern down. Call Dragon. Come on down, Dracosaur. Cool stuff. Now, if it gets to stick around, we'll start to get some benefits during our upkeep, and I'm down. I guess right now... Okay, they're going to go Seed of Hope. Then discard off the Artist Talent, potentially. Okay, Grim Search. And, oh, Fear of Infinity. Okay, okay, we're up against Roots. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta go, go, go. Give me more top-end dragons. Yeah, this deck list can really pop off as it cycles through the Fear of Infinity. Okay, nowhere to run. They're going to potentially double down on this Dracosaur. I feel like that's what's going to happen here. Bring Fear of Infinity back to hand. Without a Roots on the table, though, they don't get a plant. Okay, it's going to be Torch the Tower. So at least they had to double down on this. But they are cycling through. Get the Fear of Infinity into the grave. Torch the Tower. Not forget the bottom ability here. I didn't go over this land when I was going over the deck list at the beginning. But we have this bottom ability where we can sacrifice it, search for a dragon. Might come in handy this game. Giving haste to the Dragon Engine could be fine, and we could cycle out one of the Ferals first, though. Ditch the Torch the Tower, because it's not doing too much right now anyways. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, another Dracosaur is not terrible. I mean, they had to double down on the first one, so... Alright, Dragon Engine, come on down. Swinging for 4 damage here, potentially. Could be another Torch the Tower from the opponent. They do have the mana for it. That's what it feels like. It is a Torch the Tower. Oh no! We won't get to use the Unearth ability as Torch the Tower exiles. They're definitely slowing us down. They ditch some land here off the Artist talent. It's only a matter of time until they find their roots and start cycling through with the Fear of Infinity. They go ahead and boost the Artist talent. At this point, we're getting a little lucky that they're missing it with all the cycling through their hand that they're doing. And they can bring Fear of Infinity back to their hand. This is scary stuff, man. Okay. They get to draw 2 here, too. Yeah, we really got to go faster somehow, but I don't know how. And nice and stocked up. So last turn, we could have anticipated removal for the Dragon Engine, right? But if we would have went Feral, they would have just bargained away one of their nowhere to run anyways. Would have been a similar concept. So our best hope was that they missed the removal, I guess. Okay, Magmatic Hellkite. Honestly, I'd much prefer just having the Dracosaur down, but I'm not mad that it's another dragon at all. Okay. Okay. Sorry, opponent. I'm thinking. It's Dracosaur, right? It's probably Dracosaur. We haven't seen any basics from the opponent yet. And I wouldn't mind... I guess... Yeah, it's Dracosaur. They had to double down on the first one. If they double down on this one too... I don't know, that's probably good for us. Their hand is so stocked up though, that's the scary thing. I don't really want to use the Omen on the Feral because I don't want to get rid of the Hellkite. So... But also the Feral could still be a good flying dragon that helps us wrap up the game too. Soul Guide Lantern. Where's their roots, guys? Where are their roots? So they go ahead and exile Sarkhan from our grave, which kind of matters because we do have the top end Incinerator. Which cares about collecting evidence, which kind of matters if they go wide with their plants, right? So they got 3 cards in hand. How lucky are we getting at this point that they're missing the roots? Artist talent for 1 mana because the other artist talent is at level 2. They ditch a mountain, okay. Fear of Infinity back to hand. Dude, how scary is this deck list, though? No, Dracosaur, get down. Not like this, bro. Not like this. Oh, no. Okay. Both Fear of Infinities cycled back to the grave as they restock their hand here. They're coming on back because eerie ability. That's crazy, dude. Oh, maybe Dracosaur gets to stick around. It's just a little weaker. Oh, Dracosaur, you're alive. Let's go. Okay, get some benefits here. Hey, Incinerator. Okay, now we're talking. You may play them this turn. I shall indeed play them this turn. Oh, Dragonhawk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 9 mana. Maybe we just go Dragonhawk and Hellkite? Dragonhawk, give it haste. Hellkite comes down, doesn't have... I guess at that point, we'd start with Hellkite to get rid of some of their mana, right? I guess. I guess. Is that right? Sure. Yeah, let's do that. Start with Magmatic Hellkite. They have 4 cards open here. It could be easily another Nowhere to Run or something. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's try their red source. And they do it on the stack before they lose the land, so... It doesn't really matter which one we want to target. But if it was Nowhere to Run, they would have gotten rid of Dracosaur before we benefited from it, right? It's going to be a Grim Search, actually. Okay. Oh, okay. So what does that do? They bargained it. So they look at the top 4 cards and then put up to 2 of them back on top. Any order, put the rest into your graveyard. You draw 2 cards, then lose 2 life. Okay. So that doesn't affect us. Now, one big thing here too is they don't know Dragonhawk, Fate's Tempest, is about to come down with haste. This is pretty exciting, guys. It's a good swing. Actually, it's game. Because of Dragonhawk's ability. We get the ability off the draw too. That's crazy. That's so much extra damage. Whoop, buddy. I guess we got lucky. I don't know. I don't know, man. Where's their plants? The whole point of their deck list is to have a whole bunch of plants as they're spamming and filtering through the fear. Yeah. I mean, they were definitely doing the filtering. At some point, though, too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because the plants don't have reach or flying. So there was still, even if they saw it, still a chance that we could have flown in with our big old chunky dragons and got there anyways. That deck list kind of confuses me, though. If you guys can't tell, I'm kind of like looking at all the cards that they're playing, trying to piece together what's coming next. Okay, I don't really like this hand, and we go first, too. I don't know about this one, but I'm going to keep it. We're going to push the deck list to its limits, see how we do here. There's a lot to draw into. Guys, do we play the Mox Jasper while we have it, right? I'd say the only real reason to save it is if we draw it later on and there's a chance of using it with our Storm Dragon. Or... yeah, no, I think that's like the only reason we would save it. Okay, I guess Molten Exhale. We can behold a dragon. We have the Incinerator. I guess we wait for them to try to put more on to the Heartfire hero than pop it on the stack. I guess that's fine. Yeah, try to get as much out of their hand as possible. Emberheart Challenger. That is also a pretty good target, but not killing the Heartfire hero seems like it would be a mistake. Right? I guess. Alright, check out my top-end dragon. Yeah, but the Emberheart Challenger just helps them find more off the top. They find more Heartfire heroes or something. Just seems a little weird, but... it's funny how long we've been playing against this, and it's still a pretty tough decision. Yeah, we're going to need more of our removal for sure. We still have 3 more Molten Exhales and all 4 of our bargain. Okay, Charming Scoundrel off the Emberheart Challenger. That's good news, I guess, because they can't play it for the turn. Down to 13. It's Heartfire Hero. Uh-oh. Phyrexian Dragon Engine is not half bad. If it can stick around, the Mox Jasper will help us. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. Because it's dragon, if it can stick around for the turn and we survive, I guess it doesn't matter because we have so much mana. What on earth, dude? There's only 24 mana in here. For a good reason. We have a lot of ramp too, you know? Alright, I guess we should keep it as a blocker for sure. So Incinerator of the Guilty comes down even if the Dragon Engine dies. So no matter what, we got a block to survive. Yeah, because we already got the 5th mountain here, and the orb is probably sticking around. So Incinerator comes down, swings. And we might be able to wipe this board. I say might because, of course, they could get the prowess on the Challenger above whatever the Incinerator does. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Emberheart Challenger. Okay. They're going to boost the Heartfire Hero. I'd say we're in a lot of danger. If their last card is a boost for the hero, we should definitely try to block it. Oh dear. I mean, even if it's... Okay, yeah, we block the hero. Let's see what they got. Even if it is a Monstrous Rage. Man, that's tough. Because the double strike on the Dragon Engine. So it is going to be the Monstrous Rage. So it would have been 14 damage if I blocked the Challenger. Ow! My face? My face, opponent. How could you? Oh no. We don't talk about that game. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, all that early removal packed in for a very good reason, and I bet that's not the last of the mice that we see this evening. Guys, while I have you here, somewhere in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Also, guys, for the YouTube side of things, if you liked the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you. All right, we go first. I don't know how to feel about these last couple hands. I mean, I should learn from the last one. I should learn from keeping the last one. But again, I kind of want to just try it and see what happens. No, we can do much better. Dude, I don't know. I'm going to keep it. There's so much to draw into. Like, we don't have to see just a bunch of mountains off the top. Okay, brushland from the opponent this time round. It's a Valley Might Caller. Okay. Carnelian Orb. Okay. Okay. Oh dear. Are we up against bunny rabbits? Dude, let's freaking go. I've been seeing so much bunny rabbits lately. Guys. The third orb. Oh no, I really should have dropped the mulligan, huh? There's a chance that the Bonehoard doesn't get picked up by a Sheltered by Ghost, and it might actually pull us back a little bit. Oh, holy cow, Knight Errant of Eos comes down and everything. They restock their hand with some bunny rabbits. Okay. I guess Cavern called Dragon. Dracosaur probably just needs to stick around as a blocker. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're not gonna die. We're totally fine. If we swing this turn, there's a chance that we find another dragon off the top to give haste to. Okay, Mentor is a 7/7 trample. They have 2, 3, a lot. They have 15 coming through, putting us down to 3. So if I would have kept the blocker, it would have been a pretty good blocker, actually. Okay, we don't find a powerful top-end dragon, unfortunately. But Sarkhan's actually pretty cool. A lot of mana so far, guys. We're seeing a lot of mana for 24. And this is not the type of deck list that we want 23 by any means. So, also, we could have seen Incinerator, but then we don't have any cards in the graveyard right now, so Incinerator would have just been a really good swing in the sky, too. We can just use one of the caverns like that, because both of these called Dragon, too, so we still have a lot of open mana from the Carnelian Orb, but we can't give haste to the Sarkhan or anything fancy. We can behold the Bonehoard Dracosaur, and then I suppose use the 2 orbs in the Mox Jasper to play another orb. Huh. Alright, I'll do my best to block the opponent. Bring it on, opponent, bring it on. Yeah, we'll do the best blocks possible here. I can't be mad at the bunny rabbits. I can't be upset by this. So again, if I would have not swung with Dracosaur, we would have had a decent block. We would have been able to block like one of the Might Callers or something, but realistically, we would have only had 1 extra turn anyways. I actually really like taking that risk for the Dracosaur, because there could have been a chance that we actually would have been able to push the 13 damage through that turn. It would have looked like our other 5-drop dragon at that point, right? So we can successfully take care of the Knight Errant of Eos here. And then we can chump the 5/6. That's a pretty good chump. And then the block on the Mentor, I guess, does... Oh, we can chump this one too. Good game, opponent. I'm sorry I took the time to think those blocks through. Minus 22. We were close. We were close, I swear. Guys, right now, it looks like the deck list wants 23 because of all the excess ramp. But I really don't think so. I think there's going to be games where if you miss your mana for a turn, then you're going to be in a lot of danger. Also, that was another game where early mana really could... yeah, early mana. Well, early mana is good no matter what, but that's not what I'm talking about. Early removal could have really come in handy. Torch the tower, for example, early on there would have been crazy. So a mulligan in those last couple games potentially could have really helped us pull something off. But I'm here testing the deck list to its absolute limits. I think I found the limits in those last two, huh? Now this hand, on the other hand, now we don't have the extra ramp. Opponent goes first. 1 piece of early removal. I'm keeping this. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's better than the last 2 hands. Okay. I say against Gruul colors. Against Gruul colors again. Do we actually risk them having protection for the Heartfire hero like earlier? I thought it was worthwhile to risk. Now I feel like I'm going to get punished for doing it for some reason, but I'm going to try. We're going to wait. Let's see if we get punished. Earlier, I don't think I knew that they had Gruul colors, right? So... okay, now we have that option again to pick up Challenger or Hero. Based on the exile on the Torch the Tower, I suppose it'll be the Hero again. it's a little better than the last one because yeah, this time we're not taking the 1 ping. Okay, yeah, we'll see. See if that ends up working out in our favor. All right, Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon and a little bit of ramp with Sarkhan. Which one shall we behold? Behold my Stormscale Scion. Haha. That's cool. All right. A little bit of ramp into the Magmatic Hellkite could be insane because it's a 4/5. We take the block this turn. We don't have an option to put an extra counter on the Sarkhan when we play a dragon. And the extra counter could help us block a little bit more. But still... Alright, I guess it's no blocks because it could be literally anything and the prowess just ends up being a chump. Whereas if we have that chance of actually getting it up to 3, it might have a better chump in its future, is what I'm getting at. So we didn't take any extra damage. This could just be protection. Dude, I'm telling you what, Magmatic Hellkite locking down one of their lands could be insane. It really could be. Yeah, we're going to take that time for that ramp too, so... Or to use that treasure ramp. Okay, we're stuck on the opponent's second main phase here. They might be deciding between keeping protection open or just playing another 1-drop out of their hand. So while they decide, we'll go ahead and pause the recording. The opponent decided. It was a Torch the Tower for my poor Sarkhan. Oh no. At that point, they were anticipating another dragon. And they wanted to be able to torch the tower without actually having to bargain for it. And also, they don't have a bargain for it. Well, either way, let's get the Hellkite down. Boy, it blocks well, huh? Which one do we want to pop? I guess it doesn't matter. I guess the Verge. Yeah, it blocks really well, and now it locks down this land with that stun counter for 1 turn. I like that a lot, dude. Yeah. They have more mana anyways, but it's also... Oh! All it took was 1 chunky dragon, huh? Wow, the opponent must have had a really bad hand or something. They must have had a terrible hand. Achievement, Big Spender. Is that for spending treasure tokens? If I remember, I'll check that at the end of the video here. Guys, we're 33 minutes in. I'm going to push it over time. We're going to go 1 more. See what we can get done with more dragons. Because I think there's a lot more shenanigans that we can get up to with this deck list. Opponent goes first. Torch the tower early's great. Ramp into the Dracosaur eventually. Guys, I don't think I learned my lesson from earlier. Like, only like the top end dragons and stuff is a little bit sketchy. But we have torched the tower, so I think we're fine. Bring it on, opponent. Bring it on. Demir colors. Another orb. I guess I'm not mad about it. Yeah, when the first orb gets countered, we have the second orb. Oh, stock up. Okay. I wonder if this Torch the Tower is going to do anything. Might need to trade it out to Bitter Reunion at some point. Alright, come on down, orb. Orb number 1. Get ready for the Dracosaur. I'd love a Cavern off the top. Okay. Dracosaur getting countered is, since we have 2 of them, that's where we start, because the Dragonhawk is really good. Really, I mean, we obviously don't want to run it down into a counterspell, but it might not be. It might be okay. Okay, change the equation. Oh crap, dude. Counter target red or green spell with mana value 6 or less. Hey, Cavern of Souls, let's go. All right. Now we're talking, man. So I think we want to have a surprise Dragonhawk after we actually have an established Dracosaur or something. How does that sound? I think that sounds a little bit better right now. And another thing too is the opponent could still have just spot removal. And so I'd rather them spot remove the Dracosaur. Lot out. No, not the exile opponent. Why? Okay, both Dracosaurs out of the game. Again, I'd much prefer that over the Dragonhawk. So we'll see if Dragonhawk can actually land. Ooh, Magmatic Hellkite. Dude, now we're talking just big old chunky dragons. I think, is Hellkite better than the Dragonhawk again? Because it's a similar concept. We're getting rid of their removal, of their hand. The Hellkite can hit the reef. Locks down that land for the turn too. I like it. I'm going Hellkite. It's funny because we're playing the dragons. They're still doing the thing nicely. But we're playing the dragons that we value less than the Dragonhawk. I mean, Dragonhawk, what it feels like right now is we wouldn't mind 3 of them, but I do think the legendary is going to hold you up sometimes too, so. What's this? What's going on? Oh, they're going to use that mana to pop the Hellkite. It's a go for the throat. Okay. Okay, well. I mean, they're gonna miss at some point, right? Probably. Dimir control. They pass it back. Mana. We are seeing a lot of mana today. Come on down, Dragonhawk. Do the thing, buddy. Do the thing. Dragonhawk. Get down, bro. No, Dragonhawk, why? Dude, opponent, this is brutal, man. Oh no, all my big chunky dragons. Dude, with Orb, though, like any top deck is beautiful, right? I think so. No. No, my deck list. No. Oh crap. Oh crap, Torch the Tower doesn't do anything against the Excruciator, but bad news, guys. If they're taking the turn to actually do this, it means Jace is in their hand already. So it's mana. No, opponent. No. All right, let's see the Jace. Let's see it. At the very least, I want to hit the Jace with the Torch the Tower before we die. At the very, very least. It's possible that they missed the Jace though, but with only, they go for the swing. It exiles him face down too, so we can't even like look at what's left in our deck list. Ow. They missed the Jace. I mean, yeah, just having a 6/6 flyer. Okay, they go Deadly Cover Up. Huh. Okay. So that if they get rid of the Excruciator, they're no longer drawing a card at the beginning of the upkeep, right? So, I mean, I'm so confused. I don't know if there's been a moment in Standard in like the last few months where I'm just not confused though. Oh man. Okay, it's mana. Crap. Okay, well, it's all up to... Oh, what did they hit there out of our deck list, guys? Because we only have 2 cards remaining. Oh no, opponent, draw a card. Draw 2 cards. Oh no. Also, why are we only seeing mana? There's way too much mana. This is silly. Hey, there we go. Wait, this says it's control. No, it's controller searches their library for a basic land. Yeah, dude. That could do it. That could get them down to 1 card too. And then they draw. We have a chance. If there's a basic in their last 2 cards. Dude, let there be a basic in those last 2 cards. No, that would have been so cool. They would have been down to 1 card in their deck list. Then we would have passed. They would have drawn their 1 card. Then they would have passed. We would have drawn our 1 card. Then we would have passed, and they wouldn't have had any cards. That would have been so cool. Oh, there's the Jace. There they go. They found it. They found it.
I'll take note.
Let's see what the last card in our deck list was. Oh, also, take this, Jace. Take that. Wait a minute. Take this, Jace. Bargain and everything. I'm going to scry that top card. Let's look at it. And the opponent's like, take this, Hellkite. It was a Cavern of Souls, guys. Oh, buddy. This deck list felt like it had 28 mana. And I don't know if that means anything, though. You know? I feel like we shouldn't go down to 23. That seems super weird for a mid-range deck list, right? There's so much ramp in here, though. Oh, I don't know. I'm really split on that. It's too bad we couldn't end on a high note. That was a silly game, though. The opponent's deck list was brutal, dude. Holy cow. Here's the deck list again. I had fun. Yeah. I like playing dragons. I was giggling up a storm. A Stormscale? No, I don't even know what that means. Stormscale did not come into play today, unfortunately. And it's going to be pretty rough to, or not rough, it's going to be difficult to actually pull off a storm with Stormscale Scion. So, I don't know. This one probably can just be traded out for more Dracosaurs and more Dragonhawks, right? Have 3 of each of those, because these guys kind of MVPs on the top end, trying to help us see more. If Dracosaur sticks around for the full turn, of course, then you get to see more. You get the treasure, you get the little dinos. Everything is awesome about Dracosaur if it survives. Dragonhawk, on the other hand, you know, if you're giving it haste on the Carnelian Orb, it really does the thing on the turn it comes in. So the opponents really know how to keep open mana for instant speed spot removal. That's always going to be a thing. That's always going to be a problem when you're playing like a deck list that really relies on those big top end chunky creatures. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean trade out the big top end chunky creatures. You're just going to rip the soul out of the deck list at that point. So, first of all, guys, put everything on the do not craft list for the first couple weeks of a new set. Just don't craft anything at all. If you if you're gonna play anything or put anything together, just completely base it off of your collection. I know it's very, very tempting to craft things up though when a new set just releases. It would just suck if the meta landed on the opposite side of whatever deck lists you end up putting together. That being said, there's been a decent variety in the meta overall. Outside of mice every other game, there's still been a decent variety. And so it could land anywhere. But yeah, I'd say put it on the do not craft list, because put everything on the do not craft list. Also, this one's particularly expensive with mythics too. Stormscale, Dracosaur, Dragonhawk, Incinerator. Wow. Magmatic Hellkite is a rare. I liked this today, man. This could be another 4-mana dragon of your choice, though. I just like that it's a 4/5 flyer. I love that it locks the land. I'm going to try this outside of dragons probably, too, somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe in a deck list where we can blink it or reuse the ETBs or copy it. Even monocolored deck lists are playing utility land, right? Even mono red plays Rockface Village. I feel like you're just being a bully at that point, picking up their Rockface Village. And sometimes mono red only has like 2 land over there for so long too, and you pick one of them apart. Now it's tapped for an entire turn too. I don't know. I like this, but I guess more testing required for the Hellkite too. But I do really like this. Carnelian Orb kind of felt like it was essential. It kind of feels essential to give these top-end dragons haste, right? I think so. Similar concept with Bitter Reunion. Sometimes you'll miss the orb, but also filtering with Bitter Reunion's really good too. Something the orb can't do is give haste to the other things that you get down on the same turn too. Like, this is only 1 dragon that is cast with the orb's mana. Meanwhile, you could potentially play multiple dragons on the same turn, apparently, with our 28 mana deck list here, right? Yeah, no, only 24 mana, and it felt like way too much, but I'm not convinced at all that we need 23 mana. I guess we could consider it, though. 4 Molten Exhales and 4 Torch the Towers. I feel like this early removal is going to be pretty essential. Again, every other game is mice. For me right now, I guess it would also depend what your meta looks like. I do like that Molten Exhale is pretty easy to get to instant speed. Instant speed for a damage creature or planeswalker. That's pretty wild, man. I think so, at least. What's the alternative? Obliterating Bolt, right? And that is, why are there so many cards that have the obliterate? There we go. It's so at sorcery speed 4 damage creature planeswalker, but this would also exile it instead. I would say this is the other card in standard that we can compare it to, but there's a lot of value in instant speed things and keeping cards open at instant speed. There's a lot of value, so I don't know. I like it. Fits the dragon theme nicely. Has awesome artwork too. Yeah. All right, Sarkhan. I liked this. Didn't get to stick around long enough to do the bottom half, but we were easily able to behold a dragon. Didn't see the Shivan Devastator. There's another mythic, guys. Yeah, our dragons are like mythics galore. Dragon Engine. We didn't even get to get this into the graveyard to even consider unearthing it because it got exiled by Torch the Tower. And guys, Torch the Tower is everywhere too. This is a choice spot removal in standard. So a lot of things get exiled all the time, which definitely matters when our top end looks like Incinerator and you're trying to collect that evidence too. So Mox Jasper kind of just sits there until you get a dragon on the board. So having more options for more cheaper dragons might actually be decent. I don't mind this as a 2-of. And by the way, another mythic. Oh my goodness, right? This is a mythic that might be unnecessary, or maybe just as like a 1-of or something. Maybe at its worst, you can bargain it away for the Torch the Tower, and it's a free card, but also being that free card too, just that 0 mana, works really well for the Stormscale Scion. Also, guys, if we saw Stormscale Scion today when we were seeing all that excess mana, then I guess there's a real chance of actually getting this to storm a few times over. I don't know what games or what matches that would have come in handy in, but that is something to consider. And maybe when I go back and watch some of those matches to see where I could have done better, maybe I could say like, oh, right there, if we would have drawn Stormscale, that would have been crazy, right? I guess we realistically don't know. And when you're storming this out too, it's not, okay, that's another great reason for Bitter Reunion because, yeah, when you're storming this out, you're getting all those extra copies. You're not given all those extra copies haste with the orb. Excuse me, guys, I'm losing my voice today. You're not given all those copies haste with the orb, but you could give all the copies haste if you still have excess mana with the Bitter Reunion, right? So I guess you never know. And maybe you didn't have excess mana right away, but now you do from the Mox Jasper because now you actually have dragons on the board. So then you can use that mana on the Bitter Reunion. Yeah, I think there's so much more to showcase with this deck list, guys. I think we could play another 5 games and then see a whole different side of this too. So more testing required for sure. Oh, there might have been moments today too where the bottom ability. So for 4 mana, you can tap this, sacrifice this land, search your library for a dragon card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. We have a pretty wide range of dragons to choose from in here. A lot of 2-ofs, right? So that's cool. I like this. I like this as a 2-of a lot. And you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a dragon spell or an omen spell as well. So you can use that red as red mana for the flush out ability on the Stormshriek Feral, which actually I really like in here too as a 2-of. Yeah, this was cool, man. So now that we went mono red dragons, we can step up the difficulty. And what should we do next? I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to go 3-color dragons next. I definitely don't want to try 5-color dragons just yet, and maybe I'll wait a couple weeks to try that. I don't know what dragon build is next quite yet, but let me know in the comments what you're interested in too, or what dragon build you put together for sure. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Yeah, definitely let me know what you thought of this deck list, and let me know what your dragon deck list looks like. All right, I will see you in the next video.